Welcome to 5% Radio, where it's all about learning like no one else today so you can live like no one else tomorrow. Please be sure to share and subscribe. What is up, and welcome back to another episode of 5% Radio. Today, in episode number 45, I'm going to be talking to you about the difference between gratification versus satisfaction in the climb. I was listening to an interview with Lecrae. If you don't know who that is, he is a rapper. He's a Christian rapper primarily, but nonetheless, he's a rapper, and he's done extremely well in the music world in general. I'm talking multiple Grammys, Billboard's #1 song. Just 1 year he beat Maroon 5 for a Grammy. Like, he's big time, has made it, quote unquote, made it in music. He's been to the top of the mountain, done extremely well. And one of the things that he talked about was this misplaced identity, this misplaced worth in achieving your goal, being so big, so overwhelming, so just all-encompassing that you lose your innate value of who you are as a person, who you were created by, and what you are as a human being. You lose that in pursuit of the journey to success, whatever that looks like, whatever goal you're chasing, whatever destination you want to get to. And I really found it interesting from someone's perspective who's actually made it there, because you hear a lot of people justify that, oh, success isn't worth it and this and that. And they've never actually done anything. But when you listen to someone who has been famous, who is famous, who's made it to the top, who is still one of the people at the top, and he's talking to you about the fact that it's not going to bring you any deep, lasting satisfaction. It was just an amazing talk. And here's one of the analogies that he gave. He said, in the Olympics, any competition, but specifically the Olympics, he said, if you look at the podium, he said, the person at the gold medal around their neck, the person at the gold medal spot, they're on the very top of the podium, first place, gold medal. He said, that's the most depressed person on the podium. And here's why, because what's next for that person? Like, what else is there? You've made it to the top of the mountain. You've achieved everything you set out to achieve. You spent probably a decade and a half or 2 decades of your life chasing this, preparing for it. I know there are some exceptions. There's people that are, 14 or 16 in the Olympics or whatever else, but like you spent your entire life preparing for this moment, chasing this moment. Very few stop and smell the roses times along that journey. It's just every single day. One Olympian put it this way. She said, I spent 4 years, 4 years of 7 days a week, 7 hours a day for 7 seconds of glory on the podium to win a gold medal. Like, it's a lot of work that goes into this, even between Olympic season. Like, okay, I won it last time, 4 years later, like I have to do all of that same work just to get the same thing again. So the gold medal person is actually the person who's most depressed. And I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but I can remember when my wife and I got out of debt, had some money in the bank. Like, we had hit some major goals. We exceeded our goals. We paid off, $46,500 or $47,500, whatever it was. We'll call it $47,000, cut it in the middle of debt in 19 months. We did that. Some of the COVID relief and just selling a car, all this other stuff. And we got totally out of debt. We didn't do the brown bag lunch. Like, we still went out to eat and things like that. But we achieved a pretty massive goal. And we were making, I think, maybe, combined like 48 or 50 grand a year at the time before the COVID relief checks. And we used every single ounce of spare money that we had to hit that goal. And I remember waking up that next day and hopping on a call with my mentor. It's one of my mentors. His name is Jonathan. We hopped on this call, and he's basically like, okay, so there's two kinds of people. There's the guy who hits his goal and sets the next one, and then there's the guy that hits his goal and gets comfortable. Like, which one are you? Like, we're going to find out now which one you really are. Regardless of what you say, there's 2 different tongues that every man has. There's the one in his mouth, and there's the one in his shoes. And, what you're doing speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you're saying. I believe that's a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, but pretty much he told me, like, hey, it's man up time. Like, you hit your goal. Now are you going to actually continue to work and do things to help others, or are you just going to stick with, like, hey, we hit our goal, we got ours, like, good luck everyone else? And I remember, like, the fleeting satisfaction of what I felt would be, like, just all life-changing, like, and it was. In every sense of the word, corny or otherwise, it was life-changing to be completely out of debt. For every single spare penny that came in outside of our budget, what we actually had budgeted for paying bills, going out to eat, all this other stuff, like, no mortgage, because we rent. We still rent. We did then. And I'm going to go from living in a relatively, I would say modest size, like, it's not huge, but it's not super tiny, a modest size house. We'll go from that to living in something just ridiculous, way bigger than we need. We'll pay that off as soon as possible, because that's the principles we live by. If you haven't heard the 10 Principles of Financial Management episode, then go back and listen to that. But so we hit this goal, and it was life-changing. It was wonderful, and we were able to save money extremely quickly and then start getting into investments and things like that. It was an awesome journey, but it only lasted for, and when I say like not even a full day, it was like, oh man, that was awesome. Okay, what's next? So that gold medal feeling of like, yes, I've made it to the top, but like, what else is there? Now, the silver medal person is the most disappointed because they were so close. Like, they were so close to actually making it. So this person's going to be more hungry than they were before. They're going to be willing to work harder. They're going to double down on their efforts. They're going to make a resolve. Like, I'm going to do twice as much. Like, I'll train harder. I'll eat cleaner. I'll sleep better. Like, they're going to do everything they can to make it because they were so close. And the resolve is, I'll just work harder. Nothing wrong with this. But the lie in the back of the mind, and you see this with a lot of successful people, is that if I can just achieve whatever you would put in that blank, if I can just achieve this success, and I know this is not a regular episode that I would do because I always talk about hunger and ambition and drive and perseverance and doing whatever it takes and having a 5% mentality, and yes, those things are all true, and take this as a grain of salt if you want to, but like it's not going to be lifetime, deep, meaningful satisfaction, fulfillment for the rest of your life because you hit this goal or you achieve this lifestyle. Like you've got to remember where your identity, where your true worth, where your value really comes from. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But the myth of if I can just achieve blank, then I would be complete. Because if you've never accomplished that thing, if you've never had money, you're like, man, if I can just get money, like that'll change everything. Yes, it will change everything regarding money, but it's not going to change you. It's not going to change the way you feel about you. It's not going to change the way that you see the world necessarily, because life is as you are, and wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, your problems are with you. Wherever you go, the issues that you carried into that season are still with you. Now you're just you with this new goal that you've achieved. So now the silver medal guy, who was like, man, if I can just become so, like, I'd be so satisfied, blah, 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 life would be different. I'm going to get recognition. I'll be on the back of a cereal box, back of a milk jug, all this different stuff. And you're like, oh, I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that. Like, I remember Shawn Johnson, when she got gold medals, was all over cereal boxes and milk and all. Like, that's awesome. Like, amazing. But like, I think she understood. I haven't watched interviews with her. I don't know who she is. Like, never talked to her, obviously. But I think she got that, like, this was just part of her journey. And now she's doing something else. Like, yes, that might be a huge highlight reel in her life, but like there was more to life than just hitting a gold medal or winning, so to speak, at the top of the podium. So the person with the silver medal, yeah, they're the most dissatisfied. They're hungry, or they're going to do more. If I could just, man, I was so close. They're going to have all these beliefs, but also the lie that is going to be wrapped around them that they're going to deal with is, if I could just achieve fill in that blank, then I would be complete. But then you go to the bronze medal. Like the bronze medal person, they're the most grateful because their chance of winning, they probably saw it was pretty small. Like they might have started training too late. They might not have trained as hard as they should have. They might not have given it 110%. They might not have had the same ability the other people had, because there are a lot of things. You talk about professional sports, man, ability it plays a huge role into that. Now, if you all work equally hard and you have the same level of ability, then whoever works harder after you all work in the same, whoever steps up their game, they're great. But whoever has the most talent and the strongest work ethic, like that guy's hard to beat. Usually it's the person with less talent and stronger work ethic who makes it. But if you look at this, the bronze medal guy's the most grateful because he's like, you know what? I didn't think I was going to win anyway. Not because he's a loser mindset, not because he, like, oh, I'm going to get down on the dumps and I can't do this. But like, man, I'm not like, they know what the top of the mountain looks like, and they're like, man, I'm not there yet, but I'm so grateful that I'm on this platform. Because like you've got to understand that the person who gets third place, like they barely made it on. Second place is the first loser. They miss first place by that much. Maybe a lot, maybe a little, but they miss first place. They're not happy. First place is like, man, what else is there? Like, I beat everyone. I remember distinctly having this feeling. And this isn't like, oh, look at me. Like, this is years ago. I'm not a person that's like, man, when I was in high school, like when I was your age, like that's just not my style. Who cares? Like, what can you do right now? I appreciate what you've done, but like, I'm never going to be the guy of like, oh man, you'll never believe what I did 30 years ago. Have I told you about the time? Like it's just not my style. Whenever people do it, I'm like, hopefully there's something that you can look forward to now in the present and in the future more than what you've done in the past, because otherwise you're not really moving forward anymore. But so if you take that example, the gold medal, the silver medal, and the bronze medal, if you look at, there's a video, and I'm going to post the links to the Lecrae interview and the Tom Brady interview. And again, guys, I am not a stop and smell the flowers, like enjoy the journey and just, it's an adventure. Like, that's not my style. I want to get crap done. I want to get there as fast as possible. Nothing ever goes fast enough for me. And I have a ton of patience with people, and I have a ton of grace when I'm talking to other people. But like, my mindset is like, I want it yesterday. And what can I do to accelerate? If you're telling me that a reasonable goal is 9 months, what can I do to do it faster? When we got out of debt, like, the math did not add up, but I wanted it done by a certain calendar date. And we got it done before that because I was willing to do anything legal, moral, and ethical to get to that goal. That's my personal style. I'm a high D on the DISC profile personality. If you read Florence Littauer's Personality Plus, I am a cleric. Like, that is I'm a hard driver. I'm a type A personality. Like, I want to get stuff done, and I want to get it done now. So I'm not a stop and smell the flowers, enjoy the journey, and just, take in the view as you climb the mountain. Like, that's not my style. But the point that I'm going to make at the end of this is one of the most important things that you can hear if you're a person that wants to be successful, if you're a person that's chasing goals, if you're a person that has ambitions, aspirations, dreams, and you're like, man, when I get those, it'll all be worth it. Yes, it will be worth it, but you need to hear what I have to say at the end, and I am going to get there, so bear with me. Tom Brady in 2005. He's 27 years old, and he's just won his third Super Bowl title. He's being interviewed on 60 Seconds, and the interviewer, don't know the guy's name, but the guy asked him, basically, like, so what's next for you? And Brady looks at him just as bewildered as can be. And I love it because it's just this pure moment of total brutal, like, not hiding anything, just honesty. So he says, there's got to be more than this. Now, you're 27 years old. You just won your third Super Bowl ring. Like, talk about top of the mountain. Like, this was early in his career, but the dude was killing it. He's still playing. I didn't even look up the amount of Super Bowls that he's been in or won, but I know it's like more than anyone else, I think, ever in football. Like, he's the GOAT, like, he's what everyone refers to as the Michael Jordan or the LeBron James. That's a whole nother debate, which I really don't care to get into because I don't watch any sports ever. I watch highlight reels and that's it. But he's at the top, right? Still at the top of the game, but he's like top of his career at such a young age. And the interviewer asked him this question. He says, what's the answer? Because, he's like, there's got to be more than this. And the interviewer's like, so what's the answer? And he says this. He says, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. And he's just kind of laughing like, man, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. And you can just tell, like, there's this gold medal type moment in his face. Like, not like necessarily depression, but like what is next for me? Like, I've done everything I set out to do. I've done it the second time. I've done it the third time. Like, what? Like, man, and he's on his way to becoming the greatest in his position ever. Like, everyone knows who Tom Brady is. Even if they're not a football fan, they know who the guy is. He's already crushing it in his career. He's at the top. And then he hit the top again. Then he hit the top again. Like, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. And as I'm listening to this video that I thought about while I was listening to Lecrae's interview. So I was listening to Lecrae, and I thought about, man, I remember this video. I remember that moment. And I remember just wanting to reach through the screen and being able to talk to Tom Brady. Little kid me, the first time I ever saw that video. But Lecrae talked about this, and here's the point that I want to make. Lecrae talks about he had just won his second Grammy. Dude's living in $1 million home. Like, grew up in just broke, poor area, like relatives getting shot, going to jail, all this, like, just dealing drugs. Just had a rough upbringing, and he made it. Like, he's at the top of the mountain. $1 million house, just won his second Grammy. He's been at, these massive parties where, every star you can think of is there, like people he can just go walk up to and just shake their hand. Like, he had, he's talking about, I met and shook hands with Beyonce, like, not as like a backstage VIP pass, but like I met her, like, cause he's at the top, right? He just gets to meet these people, Jay-Z, all these different people. Living in $1 million home, driving an S-Class Mercedes, #1 album, Billboard's top of the mountain, second Grammy in its field, like, just amazing. He said that was lower and more depressed, like a darker time than he's ever been in his life. Because he thought that fame, achievement, wealth, titles, dreams, like, he thought that all of that, everyone knowing his name, like, he talked about missing them calling his name to get his Grammy. He's at the Grammys, and there were two big rappers that wanted to meet him. I forgot the names of the guys, but there were two, I think it was Nas and some other guy, two other pretty big name rappers that wanted to meet him. And so, like, he missed because he's like, oh my gosh, like, they know my name. Like, I want to go see these guys. Like, they know me. Like, that was so important to him. And he missed going to get his Grammy. And he's a guy who's already a Christian, like, already claims that he knows where his identity comes from, already claims that he has value, that he has innate worth, that he doesn't need all the material things. Like, he makes fun of rappers that talk about, drugs and drinking and partying and making that money and talk about getting girls. And I got to be careful what I say because I don't want to ever mark an episode explicit because it's not explicit content. But like he makes fun of these guys talking about like that's, get all you can all you can get, just take advantage, step on everyone, like whatever it takes. Like this guy's talking about murdering people. And like he makes fun of these other rappers. And yet when those guys are like, oh, we know who you are, like we want to meet you, like it means more than it should to him in the sense that like he felt like that validated him. Like the follows on social media, the achievement, the billboard, the hitting your goal, the getting the Grammy, he that validated him so much, or so he thought, that he lost who he was. And he talked about how those things that I mentioned, fame, wealth, dreams, titles, achievements, goals, like those are great. But he said everything you'll ever do in your life in the world of success is like the ring from Lord of the Rings. Like, there's a lot of power in it. There's a lot of things it can be used for. But, like, ultimately, it can also destroy you if you're not careful. See, here's the truth. There is no top of the mountain. I don't care how big you get. I've heard guys talk about bringing in, one guy, his name is Taylor Welch. He's a consultant, the wealthy consultant, if you want to look him up on YouTube. Before that, he was doing some other coaching stuff. And one of the things that he talks about was like they were on track to do like I think he did $93 million top line revenue between his coaching company and his real estate, all this other stuff. And like he just became absolutely obsessed with work, to the point where he had asked his little daughter something and like she had pretty much snubbed him. And like he looked at the wife and was like, are you going to correct her? Like, she just totally disrespected me, snubbed me. And the wife looked at him like, no, like, you're never home. Like, you're not dad to her. Like, you're not home. Another guy who, claims to be a believer in Christ, like claims that he knows where his identity comes from. But success, the top of the mountain, achievement, goals, chasing success can become this elusive thing of like, well, if I just get the next thing. And I can remember this feeling so many times. Have I made it to, decamillionaire status? And like, have I hit all my goals? No, absolutely not. Like, I still have a lot of climbing to do. Like, this podcast is season number 1, Journey to Financial Freedom. Like, I have a lot of major goals, and I put them out there because I want to put my butt on the line so people know what I'm shooting for, so I can never back out and be like, oh, it got too hard. Like, I want to know that I can absolutely do whatever it takes to get there. But I'm also not self-deceived, thinking that that's going to satisfy the longings of my soul. See, the truth is, because we're all empty. Like there's a God-shaped hole in each of our hearts. There's a piece of eternity that's been put there that can only be satisfied by one thing, and it's not money, it's not fame, it's not people knowing your name, it's not achievement, it's not goals, it's not a certain lifestyle, it's not a car, it's not a house, the bank account balance, the girl, like none of that will satisfy you. Like truly satisfy you. It might feel good to get, again, gratification versus satisfaction. So here's the thing, the top of the mountain, there is no such place. Honestly, you're going to wake up, you're going to hit your big dream or goal. Like you're going to, I hope you accomplish everything you set out to. I truly do. And I'm trying to equip you and give you the tools and the resources to do that, to pass along what I'm learning from my mentors, to pass along what I'm learning from the information that I take in the training system that I'm involved in, to pass along what I'm learning in books, to pass along all the stuff that I wish I would have known when I started the journey. I'm trying to pass that on to you so you can get there faster than I am. And whatever you're chasing, hopefully it's a 5% life of passive income so you can have time and money so you can truly chase whatever you were put here to do and accomplish your God-given purpose, because I believe we all have a reason for being put here. No one's an accident. But the truth is that you're going to hit that thing, you're going to get that goal, you're going to wake up the next day and you're still you. You're still the same person. The only difference is now you have that thing, you have that material item, you have that title, you have that goal, You have that stamp of approval from whoever, you have that, whatever that is. Who you are, unsatisfied or satisfied, won't change. If you're not satisfied before the goal, you won't be satisfied after. See, think about this. This is super crazy, and I'm coming to a close here, but John D. Rockefeller, one of the richest men, if not the richest man in the world in his day. At some point, he was probably the richest man alive. Like, if you look up what his net worth would be in nowadays dollars, it is absolutely absurd. Like, these guys were, wealthy, rich beyond anything you could ever imagine. Like, absolutely ridiculous. And he was asked, how much money is enough? And he responded with, and it sounds kind of funny, like, oh, maybe he's just goofing around, just a little bit more. Now, this would be like someone significantly richer than Jeff Bezos, okay? And you're asking him, hey, Jeff, how much money's enough? Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, just in case you don't know his first and last name. Hey, Jeff, how much money's enough? Or Mark Zuckerberg, guy that, invented Facebook. And he's like, I need a little bit more. Like, I'm not satisfied yet. Now, it's fine if you have bigger goals. There's nothing wrong with having bigger goals. I don't care how much you've done, how much you've accomplished. Like, I've got some crazy goals that when I get even halfway there, people are going to be like, man, like, why would you guys ever do anything else? Like, we've got some absolutely ridiculous goals. I'll talk more about those in season 2 once we actually get to financial freedom and we're truly living a 5% lifestyle 100%. We'll get there and people will be like, why would you do more? Like, are you greedy? Are you materialistic? Like, no. I don't spend that much money really on anything. Like, I drive an older vehicle. I live in a home that I rent. Like, we live very, very, very well below our means, no matter how much money we're making. Like, that's our principles. Like, I'm not going to go out and blow money just because I have it. But how much money is enough? Just a little bit more. You've got to understand that if you're not satisfied right now, if you don't have peace right now, you're not going to have it after. The bank account being changed, the car, the relationship, like, none of that is going to give you eternal lasting peace because you'll always have to put something else in. Like, humans don't work like, oh man, I got the car, like, now I never have to buy another car. Like, I'll be satisfied. I'll just keep buying, like, you go out to that car, like, after a couple weeks and you're like, you got that job that you always wanted, that high paying career, whatever it was. Like, man, you got the college diploma. For a couple days, you're like, I got the college diploma. Like, I can remember getting out of debt. Like, a couple days in, I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but like, what's next? I can remember when I think I was 16, got my black belt, something I've been working on since I was 5 years old, because I switched styles a couple times and I had injuries and surgeries and like all stuff that I caused myself. And I would have had my black belt when I was like 15 and ended up getting it. And this wasn't like a McDojo, a place that I'm not going to name names, but it's not a place that you go to and they're like, hey, you can get a black belt in 3 years. Like, this was like, I worked my butt off for this. Got my black belt. I was like, man, this is awesome. Showed up to the next class. I have respect for the belt. The belt never goes on the floor. It's hanging in my closet right now. Like, when it's going in my gym bag, it's folded or rolled. I don't just stuff it in places. Like, I take very, very, very good care of this thing. But guess where my certificates are? My first degree, second degree, and I honestly can't, this is bad, but I don't remember if I have my third degree black belt or not in the style that I was in. I would have to go check. I don't think I have it as of right now, but I'm not positive. But like, it's just a certificate. Like, hey, you're a second degree. Like, oh, cool. Like, that feels equally satisfying as the first degree. Like, I appreciate it, and I'm so thankful to those instructors that poured dozens and hundreds and some of them thousands of hours into my life to get me there. And I'm thankful for what I learned. I'm thankful for that journey. But like, it felt no different wearing that black belt into class. The first time it felt different. I'm like, man, I'm a black belt. Like, but the second time I walked into class, I'm still a black belt. Third time I walked into class, the 1,000th time I stepped on the mat, I'm like, I'm still like, it's the satisfaction doesn't stay. Second degree satisfaction doesn't. Third, like, it's just a goal. Remember getting my National Academy of Sports Medicine, my CrossFit CL1, or like hitting certain goals in CrossFit. I talked about this the other day, but there were 178,000 plus men in a competition. I placed like number 1,067 or 1,068. Like, that felt awesome. But guess what? There was the next season. Guess what? There was the next competition. Guess what? I still didn't make it to regionals. Like, there's always something else. I can remember the first time that we put, basically a year's worth of savings in the bank, and we were safe for a year. Like, felt great. But, it's like if you're married, you wake up the day after you got married and you're like, man, this is amazing, but you realize like nothing really feels different. Like if you did things principally, like now you and that person, you live together, like you're officially like you're married, like you're in this for life. Divorce is not an option. It's not a backdoor. Like, but you're still in the relationship with the same person. Like there's nothing truly like, man, it feels different every day now. Like you're married. And eventually, and I'm not saying the shininess, the newness, like the excite, like I'm not saying that wears off. Like have a great relationship with my wife, but like first day we were married to now, like we're still married. Like you've got to understand that your satisfaction, and here's what I'm getting at. You were created with a purpose. You were created by a creator. If you don't believe this, believe whatever you want to. But I'm not just saying this is what I believe and take it with a grain of salt. This is the truth. You were created by someone, by God. You were created for a purpose. Just like you look at your child or your parents look at you, there is an undying love that you can't do anything to earn more love, and you can't do anything to merit less love. Like the unconditional love that God has for you, the purpose that he created you for, the value that he put in you when the Bible says that he made you in his own likeness, in his own image. You already have worth. Talked about in the Bible that before you were in your mother's womb, that he knew you, that he created you. You being successful, unsuccessful, hitting your goal, missing your goal, having more money, less money, getting the car, getting the goals, all that stuff, I don't care how high you want to climb, it's not going to satisfy you because it's not meant to satisfy you. So understand that the journey, the person that you become on the way, the things that you're able to do to help others on the way there or getting to the goal, the lifestyle that you get to live, everything about it, appreciate the journey. Understand that it's who you become on the journey. Here's my real draw, my real appeal to like one of our ultimate goals, and I'll say it right now, but I want to be a person that makes $1 million a year, 7 figures a year. Now, I've got friends that want to make 7 figures a month. Maybe that'll be a goal later. I've got friends that are on their way to making 7 figures a month. Maybe that can be a goal later, but one of my huge goals is like I'd love to make $1 million a year. Why? Just to put this into perspective, my spending on a monthly basis for things that I want and need is under $2,500 a month. So Jesse, what the heck do you need 7 figures a year for? I want the struggle, the challenge, the journey, everything that it's going to take, all of the stretching, all of the growth, like the version of me that I will have to be to get there is so appealing to me because it's so far away right now. The amount of change that will have to be had in me as a person, in the way that I think, in the way that I do relationships, and all of my abilities, sales, marketing, my ability to speak, to transfer feeling, to give people belief in themselves, everything about me has to change so much to get there. But I understand that my value will never change because it will not change my value when I get there or any step along the way. I'm still just me. I'm still just me. I'm still fearfully and wonderfully made. I still have an identity that's rooted not in the things of the world, not in the things that I can achieve, not in things that can move or be destroyed or that, can be, that Bible talks about that, John 10:9 and 10:10, it talks about, the thief cometh not, but to steal, kill, and destroy. Like things down here can disappear. I can make lots of money and lose it. I can have a beautiful home and it can burn down. I can have a car and it gets totaled. I can have a relationship and that person passes away. I can have great health and I can lose that health. I can have awesome kids and I can put my identity and my ability to be an incredible father and I can lose those kids. I can have great relationships and people can pass away. I can have an amazing career and the world could shut down again like it did for 2019 and 2020. Like, I can have all this stuff and it can go away. It's fleeting, but my value, my innate worth, not based on myself, but based on who I'm created by, that can never be taken. I'll leave you with this. D.L. Moody put it this way, and he put it best when he said, our greatest fear should not be that of failure, but that we succeed at something that does not truly matter.